Alrighty, well, I back on again, and once again, I'm gonna try to give this another go. I tried streaming on Twitch again, but their servers are having problems. But I almost want to say too, it could be from my end for some reason, because I mean, there's other people streaming on Twitch, no problem. But I try getting on, I get either I get a stream key issue, or that, or I just can't I can't. It's either the stream key or I'm having problems getting out of Twitch server. But yet I can come on here on YouTube, just no problem. So I'll probably type this down. Test stream. Let me go up here. So right now the big goal is to I want to I want to get this window out of here. And then also something else I want to do is let me go ahead and so now I've heard stories of people's streams and channels and whatnot getting shut down for playing copyrighted music like in their streams. But so I'm kind of risking this, but I don't want total complete silence running in the background. So, but like I said, I basically I'm trying to get my trying to get my feet on the ground. I think that's the phrase I'm looking for. But in the background, I'm gonna have some J-pop music going from the 70s and 80s. So, but like I said, but the stream is pretty much under construction, and at the same time, I want to see if I can get some kind of like YouTube app on my tablet. I'm on my YouTube studio right now. And it is behaving very slowly. And yeah, that's YouTube Studio. So let me go ahead and bail out of this. So I'm gonna fire up the Google Play Store. I want to see if they have like a YouTube streaming app. And during this time, gonna eat pretty unhealthy right now. I'm gonna have some popcorn chicken and a fast break bar. Damn it. So let me do another search because this is not what I'm looking for. Let's try that. None of them. And I already have that one. Don't know. The only other thing I could think of is actually going on the full-blown browser, like Mozilla Firefox or something, going on there, putting my YouTube stuff, or trying to get to my particular website that I'm looking for, that's on here on my computer. See if I can get it on my tablet. But otherwise, what I'm trying to do is the game I'm playing is Idle Champs. And then once again, sorry to sound like a broken record, but I can't stream on Twitch because they seem to have stream key issues. So worst case scenario, YouTube might be my new home. So still thinking. Oh, don't freeze. And I kind of wish I can get rid of that I got like a live action thumbnail going on in the upper left corner here. So again, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get YouTube on my tablet and trying to get the chat box on here. Looks like it's gonna take a while. Well, I can pop out the chat. Found it. So I'm hoping by closing out this window, it won't kill my stream. I want to update it right now. got a problem here. So it shows. But again, what I'm working on right now is I'm trying to get YouTube chat on my tablet. And I'm not seeing like a go live option or anything like that on here. Okay, which is not what I'm looking for. There needs to be a back button on here. And I sure as hell don't want to be constantly checking my popped out chat box in here. Plus, I really don't know where else to go on here. Just wish was in here. Explore. Fuck. No, I don't care about somebody else's live streams. I'm looking for my own. That's great. Still working on it. This ain't working out so well. I'm I'm on my channel. Doesn't say anything about live stuff though. Unless I might have found it. Oh, I might have found it. No, I just want to get. No, I just got to get rid of the damn stream video on the top part of my tablet. Definitely don't want that. So now, I think I kinda fixed it. But once again, I'm not on YouTube by choice. The Twitch servers are having issues. I can't get on them. And I know it's a Twitch issue and not a me issue, cause I'm streaming on YouTube, so. And then, excuse me. Okay, it shows. So it shows on here. I got a Twitch app, or yeah, I got a YouTube chat app on here. So, this should be smooth sailing from here on out. Alright, so, and I'm gonna have to turn this on because it's starting to get hot in here. Go ahead and get this going. And it's gonna be a little messy at first. Looks like it's still working. Or, excuse me, looks like it's still working. I'm gonna do some typing. Then I'm gonna go ahead and start researching the why I'm having a Twitch server problems. Hmm. Might have found it. So, oh, found it. We are aware of connectivity issues some users are having. We may have jinxed our glitch tips. Stay, okay, so I'm looking at it right now. Where you at? Cool. It automatically parses links, so. But yeah, like it's showing there, it is a Twitch issue, and they're working on it. I'd have known, if I'd have known Twitch was having server issues right now, I'd have slept in a little longer. Yeah, I don't think this updates either. F5 it. Yeah, check out the game real quick. Alright, I'm gonna switch music. So this one's gonna be DIM, the Holy Crag. And it is Dungeon Sims. Unresolved incident, identified web issues. Okay. And actually, you know what? So I'll probably have to do some window switcheroonie here. Come on, where are you at? Orcs, 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 orcs. We ain't going any place scary, are we? Yahoo! Oh, actually, that kind of helps a bit. So,
What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show where each week we talk about the awesome lore behind some Isle Champions' coolest campaigns and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/C&D Games, or later on your favorite podcast service. I can't speak this morning. It's a weird morning. B-Dave's not here. Aaron M. Evans also talks about the lore. And sometimes I mess up the intro, but we just go with it because it's a live show, so here we are. If you have any questions, you can put them into chat, and I, Trevor Best, will ask them later in the show when our awesome mods, Martin and Jordan, put them into a little text doc. But hey, Aaron, who are you for the fine folks who may not know?
Well, I'm also on this show. No.
Yeah.
I'm Aaron M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angel Saga 6-book series, It's Set in the Forgotten Realms, featuring 3 of your favorite Idle Champions, Farida, Havlar, and Mehen. I'm also a content designer for Idle Champions, and the author of the forthcoming Empire of Exile.
Yeah. This way. Yeah, B-Dave's not here, but we had a little tech issue, so sorry for the late start, and
We
for
fought
podcast...
hard to
We did.
join you.
We did, and for podcast listeners, it's going to be a shorter episode. But hey, we're here, and we're going to talk about some D&D stuff and whatnot, because, well, we're going to talk about orcs, because Dob is coming to the game, in 50 minutes. Another Oxventure person, I don't know, Oxventurer?
Oxventurers.
Oxventurer, there we go, yes. To join the team and hide all of your gold in a lake somewhere, and everything will be fine, don't worry about it.
He's very funny.
He is. Actually, tomorrow, I'll plug this now. Tomorrow on Idle Insights, you're going to see an interview with me and Luke Westway, who plays Dob, and there's a pre-recorded one. Heads up, it was ridiculously funny. I absolutely loved that interview. There were lots of laughs, and also there's an extra part of me and him talking about Disney Channel original movies. So,
What's his favorite?
oh, I don't know if I actually asked him that one.
What's your favorite?
Oh, don't look under the
So-
bed. Yeah.
playing a Twitch stream on a YouTube.
I have this
Playing a
weird
Twitch stream on a
extensive
YouTube
knowledge
stream.
of Disney Channel original
Really feels
movies,
like
and I
I'm
was
crossing the streams
every
right
time
now.
they're like, this Friday, I'm like, I will be there. So yeah, it's a fun time. So definitely tune in for that one tomorrow. But yeah, so we thought we'd do the kind of like all-encompassing orcs, because Dob is a half orc. But you know, we figured if we just talked about half orcs, it would just be like, well, there's orcs and humans. Ta-da.
Sometimes they make a baby.
Sometimes they make a baby. Where do we want to start with orcs? Because I will be honest, it's weird.
I'm like, let's dive all the way back. Where do they come from in like meta sense? Because I think everybody knows that orcs come from Lord of the Rings, but they're actually pulled out of.
They had them in World of Warcraft
it's the
too.
same in mythology.
I mean, they weren't the
So,
first, but
sort of
you get the
related
idea.
References, they're kind of like goblins or like spirits. They occupy a lot of the same space as like elves and Jotuns and Ettins, like where they're sort of creatures of the wild who have been forsaken by God. They come up once in Beowulf as one of the sort of tribes of creatures that are condemned, alongside elves and Ettins. That don't like those. And so it comes out of from. Actually, here's a fun fact. It does come from the same root as Orcus. Orcus originally being like a name for the devil, and then like as an evil spirit that sort of occupies that same space. So now we have these two unrelated entities in D&D that both come from the same root point.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the first time I heard Orcus, I was like, oh, Orc God, okay. And then I was totally wrong.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is slightly confusing, but a lot of things in D&D are.
They kind of get framed differently, the sort of the origin creatures, right? Sometimes they're
Need speed potions.
goblins, and sometimes they come more like yokelins or giants. And then sometimes they're sort of almost like
Oh, bigger ones.
Known as these being white orcs, right? So obviously Tolkien's a big fan of all of these kinds of sources, and pulls his orcs out of there. Where, you know, in his early work, they're sort of framed as like evil creatures, right? And so they're really baked into the premises that these are representations of evil in the world of Mordor.
Yeah.
And very much like in that setting, right? They are created by Sauron to be the army. They're made by evil for the purpose of evil. But then we get to D&D. This is not the mythology of the orcs, and particularly in Forgotten Realms, right? Because Trevor discovered where orcs come from.
Well, I do want to preface real quick. I do want to point out the fact that hey, there's a lot of really problematic stuff when it comes to orcs in almost any depiction whatsoever. There is a lot of terrible racist things and horrible things, and we're getting, and hopefully editions are going to get better about that. D&D 1 or 1 D&D has said that orcs are going to be a prime playable race. So hopefully that is going to get better. But this is all very much rooted in some really problematic stuff. But we're going to talk about some of the lore aspects of it. But it'd be a disservice if we didn't mention that and highlight that, because it is totally there. But yeah, so earlier today, I looked at the thing for orcs, because I guess I'd never actually done it before, and lo and behold, I did not realize that World of Warcraft and Forgotten Realms shared a very strikingly similar origin to orcs. Like, ridiculously similar.
Orcs are originally brown-skinned good guys, but
there are different sort of subspecies of orcs that have different variants.
The evil corrupted Draenei, I think that's what they were called, ended up corrupting the orcs and making them turning their skin green and stuff because of the Fel influence. So orcs aren't evil by nature.
A portal is built and the mountain orcs come through, and they were brought over by the Forgotten Realms has these creator races, and we've talked about them before, right? We have the Saruk and the Batraki and things like this, and so somebody built this portal.
They're dead.
And I actually don't remember who built the portal.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it specifically said. Oh no, that's society. History. There we go. Yeah, it was built in the spine of the world. Let's see. During the days of thunder, when Abir Toril was yet united, the first orcs were brought over to the world by the creator races, who built a portal in the spine of the world. So it's, I guess.
So this happens again later. The Imascari are kind of an ancient civilization that did a lot of like crazy magic tech. But another thing they did was take slaves, and so open portals to other worlds and steal people. So yeah, they're not great.
Apparently, there's
For example,
the Twitch boys are still working on their issue. So.
And a country called, I believe Mulheron has the same kind of backstory, where Imascar was just like reached into this world and stole a bunch of Mesopotamians.
What?
And ancient Egyptians. Yep.
What?
Yeah. So Unthur is actually like I always call it magical Mesopotamia, but there is this idea that the Inaskari just kind of went swoop and stole a bunch of humans from this world, from ancient Babylon, Sumer, that region. I don't think they ever pinpoint when exactly this went down. At some point, the gods of that realm looked around and went, hold up, where did those people go? Project avatars into this world and lead their people to freedom. So that is why you have characters like Inanna and Enlil and Gilgamesh, who's Gilgim in this world, and even Tiamat in this version of the story originally comes over from ancient Mesopotamia. So much like
Well, this is probably gonna be a short one. I'm sure half my roster consists of barbarians, clerics, and druids.
Were stolen from their world because Inaskar was like, yeah, but we don't like you.
Yup.
They are related though because there is something called the Orc Gate Wars. In the Orc
That
Gate
sounds like
Wars,
a great MMO.
And you gotta get to level 300. I don't really see that happening. Yeah. Yeah. This one's a bust.
Jeez. Oh yeah, there it is. Orc Gate Wars.
Yep. So the
So
the
that
Raiders
one's
are
undoable.
through. They're not really suited for the purpose that the Skari wanted them for because they're like, yeah, we come from a hyper-religious society that favors war, and now we're here. We would like to do more war. And so they end up sort of fighting their way.
Same problem here.
Moha
There goes half my
Hunter,
roster.
And they call down the Orc Pantheon, and the Pantheons fight
So,
each other.
This one here is a
So
no-go.
you end up with almost all of the Untheric gods being killed in this war by the Orc Pantheon, who are an interesting bunch of characters, to be honest. Like, the one thing, so much like many other made-up people in the Forgotten Realms, this is sausage fest.
Oh god.
Their gods there's one orc goddess.
Is this like the gnome pantheon all over again?
Well, it's better than the gnomes because there is actually one woman
Oh,
on
okay.
the pantheon.
So, like
But
usual,
there is
it's gonna
only
get
one.
pretty
And
messy
that
here
is
at
sort
first.
of another
It's gonna
thing
kind of get laggy and
because
jammy.
There is this, there's obviously kind of baked into the idea that these are going to be warriors that we fight and we don't have to worry about killing, even though we haven't actually quite established them as, constructs of evil. We've established them as people ripped from their homeland who have a different, cultural background. But okay,
Yeah.
they're always dudes, right? And we've seen that change in the way that they're presented and the characters that come forward. But the let me see if I can find the whole list of the Orc Pantheon because they are a lot of shades of I like to kill things. Like I feel like you're not thinking
I like
about
to kill things on Mondays, and this god likes to kill things on Tuesdays through Thursdays.
Well, I like to kill things with this, and I like to kill things with that. Grumsh is the big one. While I look for everybody else. So Grumsh is Grumsh Pantheon. So Grumsh is kind of got overtones of Odin. He's got one eye, the other eye having been torn out reportedly by Corellon Lathalin, the head of the Elven Pantheon they fought.
That was from third edition.
And that he's sort of the pinnacle of that pantheon. Ludwig is depicted as she's I think called the Cave Mother, and she has these like enormous fingernails that she fights with, and like talons. So the idea is that she's the savage determination of a mother to protect her children. And again, like these early decisions about work culture, she's basically like, all the women stay in the caves and do all the things for a society that aren't murdering things, but also they can murder. So, but I still like her because you look at the picture of her. I mean, they're like baskets. And they're just nonsense. So I believe she's the one who, in the Orc Gate Wars, kills Inanna, which that's a feat, I think. But I might be biased because I like Inanna
fine.
got, let's see, so we have Grumsh, we've got Luthic, and we've got
It's Banana Monster in the chat. She's the orc version of Lady Dunstrike. There you go.
so Bogtru is the orc god of pure physical strength and is the patron of average orcs.
The patron of, did you say average orc?
Patron of the average orc. I just said that in a way that was snarky.
So weird.
He's just basically, yeah, okay, so this is the sort of might which overwhelms enemies. It is the inherent strength. Okay. Then we've got Ilnaval, and he is strategic warfare. You're gonna see.
All right, I gotta work on this a little bit.
We've got Shargas, who is the god of active.
So it's gonna take a moment or two. The windows are gonna be black.
Yeah. And basically, he's the rogue orc's god of stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
There is.
Yeah, I gotta fix this.
Yurtrus,
I'm gonna try to get my stream link and check and see if I got any friends on Steam.
Yeah,
Give them that link because they may be waiting for me on Twitch.
maggots and stuff, and just generally, and then we've got Grumsh, who is got, which also I have to say I love this about Grumsh. So Grumsh
Okay,
one
there it
eye,
goes.
right? And there is this story of how he lost his eye, and yet you still get this 3rd edition depiction that's on the page where he's a Cyclops. And I feel like someone didn't write their art order very clearly. But alternately, if you're a god and like someone tears your eye out and you're like, fine, oink, I'm gonna depict myself this way. I guess I guess actually looking at this, there's several of these that he's basically I don't even know what's happening in the 2nd edition picture.
What
there's
is
several
that?
of these where he is a Cyclops. So it may be the opposite. It may be that I was introduced to the torn out eye story and he's always been a Cyclops.
Okay, got it.
Because
Or maybe one eye got pulled out and he's just like, I don't like this asymmetry, and just went.
this is the thing I would love to know. Like, what is the history of the descendant that Grumsh has one eye? Like, was it that they were like, yeah, he's got one eye and it's like a Cyclops orc. That sounds badass. And then at some point someone said he's got one eye. Like Odin, yeah, he must have got his eye ripped out. You should show up with an eye patch. And then everybody was like, what the heck? So someone in the chat is gonna tell me what the answer is. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
This is how the show goes. But yeah, and Grumsh is the one that people sort of are most interested in talking about.
I do have to say real quick, that 2nd edition art, you were like, I don't know what's going on. It literally looks like some
What
AI
is
art.
going on?
It is some of the most. I put the link in the chat.
Oh,
It is
wait,
some
I
of the
get it.
most
I get it.
confusing things.
I get it. Okay. Is the thing that's sort of sticking out that looks like it's a dragon's snout? That's his nose, and then his eye is right above it, and he's wearing a weird helmet. And the helmet has teeth on it, which is what's really confusing. And he's got some wild tusks going up. That's what that stuff is.
I guess, yeah, that is.
I clicked on it to blow it up because I was like,
It really hurts to look at.
It looks like a dragon being unmade. Like,
Yeah.
it's very weird.
Oh,
But you know what's interesting to me too, that there's only 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, and they are only cyclopic versions of Grumsh.
Yeah.
I feel like someone editing this page has a preference. I like the other one because I do like that sort of notion. Okay, down low there's a full Pantheon picture, and Grumsh is just missing his eye. It's scabbed over.
Okay.
And I think that notion of the sacrifice of your sight for something greater is very resonant. I really wish that there were more to this because actually this is a thing. If I had the opportunity to write about orcs, I super would because there's so little.
But yeah,
there's
I messaged
some books that go into.
I messaged a
what
couple
their-
friends
their
on
home
Steam
life
to let them know that I'm
those
streaming
are a
on
lot of
YouTube
the
and not Twitch.
that went into
Because
it.
again, they may be trying to find me on Twitch. So
And that kind of thing, like that ends up being missing when a creature is treated just as a monster and an enemy.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy to go, well, we don't care what they do.
Yeah.
I always care because I think it's interesting and it can
yeah,
influence
Kataro.
things more complex.
The
Because
Twitch
nobody
servers aren't
knows
working right now,
because
so
I guess
I gotta stream on here instead.
They feel like but a whole society is not like,
Yeah.
no, like being jerks.
Yeah.
Like, there's more to it. So
I do have to
hope
say,
that we get more of that.
lower on the page there is a super 80s illustration of Coralon like slicing the eye, and it is badass. It's like super cool. Like that could be a metal album cover. It's really cool.
I'm going to be honest, I've never witnessed someone get their eye knocked out, so I don't know about the validity of this, but it does look like he hit it like a wiffle ball. It just did swing, the eye is flying, I don't know how it popped out of his head, but it's going. It's not like he stabbed him in the eye and just like churned
Yeah, no,
that
just
out.
Well, yeah,
He, like,
swipe
knocked it.
it.
Thanks for chatting. At least now I know my YouTube app works.
Oh man, yeah, there is a lot of lore there for.
But I have streamed on YouTube
But
before.
yeah, no, I
Like,
totally
probably
agree with you about
at least-
the
probably like,
the home
I don't know,
life and
about
stuff
6 or
with
so
the
years
orcs.
ago.
Like, I really like the fact
So-
that, like, you know, not half orc but full orc is going to be.
But yeah,
a main
Joe's
thing,
eating unhealthy
you know,
right
in
now,
the player's
so
handbook
having a fast
for
break bar.
D&D. And because I think that sort of stuff is super.
But I
interesting
forgot to mention at the start of the stream, too.
And see, it's just like, hey, you know, like
Today,
we're-
like I
we're
did
not
a few
staff.
days ago, I did all my grocery shopping this morning when I woke up, like 10:30 a.m.
But still, like, it's really
Just
weird
went
that
ahead and did it
anytime
then.
you're just like, yeah, the whole race is evil.
Then after that, I figured since I'm up,
Let's not do that.
didn't really feel like going back, laying back
One
down.
of the other
Just
things
go ahead and
that-
get
that you and
a
I
stream
talked about
going, get an
before
early
this,
stream.
We were both kind of
But,
surprised when there was just a thing that was.
I
Just
got
like,
partway
yeah, D&D
through,
orcs have always been great.
But
And we're like, wait,
my computer decided to crash when I tried to load up the game.
Now, but I
So I had to start all over and
distinctly
stuff.
remember like green orc artwork
Yeah.
of like older editions. But maybe that's like a retcon thing that has happened.
And sometimes they're like greenish gray, so maybe it's just what do you, where do you draw the line? But I also want
Or
to
maybe
point
it's
out
the artist going like, I'm gonna get as much in here as I can.
on the page for orcs, they have a couple of images for each edition, and the second edition definitely has some inarguable green going on.
Mhm.
It's also showing that, like, you know, there's been a shift in how they've been depicted. But before I get to that, I did want to also point out, we mentioned one of the orcish subraces is gray orcs, and I'm just going to say, if they're all gray, why would you say that one's gray? That's like saying, like I said before, these are the two-armed humans, the weirdo two-armed humans. Like, we all mostly have two arms, some of us have less,
Yeah.
but, like, it's a weird determining factor if you're like, no, all orcs are gray.
Sorry, somebody in the chat put the one Warcraft line that will make me laugh every time, which is it's not easy being green.
It's not easy being green.
I think that has more to do with the orcs have always been gray, what are you talking about, than anything else.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah.
so if you look back at how they were depicted in first edition, they look kind of like the moblins from Breath of the Wild. Moblins, I think?
Yeah,
Big
moblins,
ones?
yeah.
Yeah, I mixed up which ones are moblins.
Well, and
Goblin.
well, that is actually because if I remember correctly, that the moblins were like based off of like, you know,
Yeah.
depictions of orcs at the time, and they were just like, well, we're just gonna take these and goblins just kind of.
Yeah, they're very. I mean, that's the thing, is that you can tell that this was sort of the perception at the time, is that these monsters are like very pig-like, and you can probably pull back to like other pieces of, like, you know, even like Sleeping Beauty, the goblins are all kind of piggish, and the I could be remembering wrong, but I feel like there was a lot of that in Black Cauldron too.
Yes.
And so like these are coming from somewhere, and
Yeah.
and it may be like I'm also forgetting. I know I have watched the the Hobbit, the animated Hobbit.
Oh yeah. I can't remember the
guy
production
singing.
company. Yeah.
It's not Rankin Bass, is it?
I don't think so.
No,
Someone in the
something
chat's
else.
gonna tell us.
Someone's gonna tell us. That's why we love you guys. But anyway, I wonder if it's you know, something in there. Somewhere this came in and stuck.
Yeah.
So first edition,
Definitely the depiction of elves in that animated movie did not stick with anyone anywhere, but I think they look cool.
The second edition orcs example is a little more goblinish, but they are very like kind of small and curled up.
Very hunched.
Yeah.
very, very hunched. Yeah.
Third is looking more like the
Nope.
depiction for this that they chose for third is looking more like it, but we've lost like.
Look at the chat right now.
The pig snout, and it's kind of
Yeah, it's kind of more
more
pressed in.
Voldemort
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
hairy. He is a very
Very hairy boy. Yeah.
And I don't. There's no. This is the kind of thing I wish when they did things where this art is clearly meant to be the prototype, the holotype for the race or the class or whatever. And you're like, here's what this is, and this is what I said when we looked at the plasmoids. Please put something in for scale because this orc looks very small.
He looks very tiny.
He looks like a very wee orc.
Like
but,
he looks like he's going to like a Gwar concert. Like he looks like he's just ready for like a fun weekend.
Yeah, let's do it. I think
also, you were
right.
It was Rankin and Bass.
Oh, okay. I like being right. I feel like once we get into the 4th and 5th edition pictures, they're fairly similar. We have left on to Grey Orc, although I definitely know of 4th edition art where like that looks great. Although I am thinking of a half orc picture actually, so that might be part of it. There's the 4th edition half orc pictures I really like. That is the male half orc is very handsome, and I think that was a good.
For 4th edition?
The 4th edition.
Yeah, I wasn't around for 4th edition.
I have a character in the Godcatcher who's a half orc who has like some simmering chemistry with the main character, and I absolutely pictured him, Baron, as the.
Yeah, and you guys can't see the chat.
Yeah.
But I had to have it.
They do.
I had to have it blocked off.
Like it is a gray green. Yeah. Interesting.
And I think that might be where there's a little bit like, what? Why were they never? They're not never green. They are sometimes green.
I mean,
but only if you define green a certain way.
I even brought up like the 5th edition Paladin half orc. It looks a little green.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What we're trying to say is we're starting a conspiracy. We're starting another one. Daggled Neverember is a treant, and half orcs are green.
Orcs have always been green.
Yeah. So yeah, there's different. They do have like different types of orcs and whatnot, but that doesn't really ever get really played with any kind of like mechanics or anything like that. Like how in the player's handbook it's just like, oh, are you a hill dwarf or a mountain dwarf? They don't really. I don't think they really ever do that with player characters.
I don't think they do in this edition. It has been in other editions and largely as monsters. I think like Orogs, for example, are orcs from the Underdark, and so they get. Let me see what.
And yeah, I'm not for this run. I'm not going to use any potions. I think I only need to get past level 200. I think.
People have dark vision sometimes. I'm like.
No, 250.
Yeah.
Oh.
Every time I remember Dragonborn don't have dark vision, I'm very confused.
It feels like they should, and also I'm like tieflings do because it's very dark. Like infernal blood. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, we'll just move along from that. So yeah, apparently Orogs are very good at making.
Okay.
They've been around since 2nd edition, and.
Well,
I
was gonna say if you want, we could switch over to
Let's do
chat
that.
questions and see what they've been up to. Let's see. Let's start off with Evil Turnip Tea. Actually, I will remind you if you have any questions right now, you can put them into chat with question : and then your question. And then our awesome mods. I always tried to say Mars afterwards, and I don't know why. Our awesome mods, Martin and Jordan, we'll grab them, put in our text doc. So Evil Turnip Tea. This one is inspired by orcs getting their addition to the new player options doc. Well, I mean, it definitely didn't hurt, but yeah, Dob was the main thing for it. But yeah, no, if you haven't checked out the 1D&D stuff, especially the I think it's like an hour-long video with Todd and Jeremy Crawford talking about the stuff, it's super cool. It's really
I saw like a little tiny bit of that.
Lurking Rider says, silly question.
Love it. Love those.
There's a wand of Orcus, parentheses, well, it's Balof's now, There should be a wand of orcas.
Just unites all the words.
Is there a wand of orcs?
Oh, I heard orcas.
Well, no.
Orcs.
The second one was orcas, like the whale.
I remember.
Yeah.
No, not that I know of. Although I'm sure more than one table has crafted a duplicate of the wand of orcas that just summons like 1d100 orcs or something.
just a clean 1d100 orcs. Yeah. Let's see. This is from Audius. I'm gonna go with Audius. Sorry if I messed that up. Question: how do you feel about orcs becoming a base race in D&D 1? I think it's freaking cool.
I like it especially. So one thing I am curious about is that.
Yeah, I'm with them on that one too. Orcs are so prevalent in D&D culture, you might as well just make them playable. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of homebrew tables out there that have them as playable. You may just as well make a baseline.
And you can, be someone who came from something and change your mind about stuff. That's okay too. And I just really would like to know more about orc culture. And so I feel like the more opportunity you have to treat them as whole, complete people, the more that becomes appealing. What is it that that monster does? I don't know that people care as much. Sometimes they do. They did have all those ecology articles. So but a lot of those are also like, where does it lay its eggs? Not what does it think about the concept of personal property. So that is, I think, that is my little I love this idea because it gets me this thing. Because I think there's so much about them that doesn't let themselves well to knots. They're irredeemably evil, and that's that. I think they've suffered from the fact that they don't have the kind of elven charisma like Drow.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be really cool just because one, we're gonna get more full on orc player characters, because we don't really have a lot of those. Because it is always half orc and whatnot, and I think it's really cool that they're going to be doing rules for how to do those sort of parentage, where it's just oh, your dad was a human and your mom was a dwarf. Here's how you make that character. I have a player in my home group who has this family story going. He's been playing different brothers from this family, but the idea was that his dad was human and his mom was an orc. And so
apparently, according to this, Twitch should be fixed.
Who's from the dad's previous marriage, and then he's played a half orc who is his mom's from a previous marriage, and then he played a half orc halfling that was their new kid. I absolutely love the family dynamic there, but I love that we're gonna get.
Please tell me I still have the windows up. No, I don't.
Okay, let's see. This one's from.
So what I'm gonna go ahead and do? I'm gonna go ahead and finish out this this podcast here, and then after that, I'm gonna try transitioning back over to Twitch.
How are they created, and what makes them different from tieflings?
So this is a thing that I gotta say there's differences to different editions. So the current edition, Cambion is a half devil, and basically a tiefling is someone who is less devil than a Cambion. That essentially you go mom's a devil, dad's a human, you get a Cambion. Dad's a Cambion, mom's a human, you get a tiefling. That basically it's like a dilution stage of the infernal blood. With the and I guess that's still in place because I think Cambions have always. Or actually, Cambions may have been also demons in previous editions, but I do know there was a thing for a while. Where, hang on, I looked at something and I ended up on the wrong. It was on the Everon wiki.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
We're jumping planes.
Right. So half fiend. So a basically. But here's also the thing is that there have been times where this has gotten weirder. So in some cases, a Cambion has to be a plain touched woman, like a tiefling. So somebody who has some kind of genetic material from a place that is not here, and a Tanari which is a demon. And there's also like noble cambions, which means your father is a demon lord, and then your mother is a half fiend. And this is complicated. And then there's also, if your dad is a human and your mom is a succubus, then you're an alu fiend. And this is all extremely complicated.
A little bit.
And so at the point where I stepped in to write about a cambion with Brimstone Angels, because Lorcan is a cambion, Lorcan is not a full devil. It was, these are half devils, and go, and
Yeah, let me check the game real
because
quick.
I don't feel like for me the story would be served by
Just
what
chugging right along.
this but not this. But your mileage may vary. I think in 5th edition.
There we
they
go.
just did
Reason up.
half. Maybe they are still half devils having the monster. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Wait, D&D Beyond is right here.
It is just a click away.
Fun fact, I got to reveal this monster entry on my blog when they were rolling stuff out, and it fully crashed my whole site because everybody was so excited to see it.
Oh my gosh. That's super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, it's just a fiend. It doesn't have to be a devil. So you can be half demon and be a cambion.
Interesting. Okay, well, I hope, Jamek, that answered your question there. Let's go to Rex Verde. Question. The orc god of strength is the average orc's god, so he's the Budweiser of orc gods.
What?
Oh, man, that's really good. Well played, well played. Now all I'm thinking here are orcs in a Budweiser commercial and just trucker hats.
Yes.
Lurking Rider question.
Make America great again.
Probably.
Right?
It seems like they
Right?
gotta.
Like, I mean, dentistry is one of the earliest medical fields,
Mm-hmm.
right? These people have technology. They also have tusks that protrude out of their mouths and surely get broken. I feel like orcs must have dentistry.
They got it.
So who is the god that the dentists worship? Because that's how polytheism works.
That is true. That really is. It is always. Okay, real quick aside. It is always weird for me when we have like a fantasy polytheistic society, and like it's only like very min-maxed things
Oh.
that they have gods of.
Oh,
It drives me up the
Trevor,
wall.
You have found one of my most passionate soapboxes.
Oh no, I've activated her trap card.
It's bananas because
Yeah.
it's like the whole like pulled out thing.
Oh, okay,
Like,
this
if you have polytheism,
stream's
you have
freezing
a god
up.
for everything, and some
Mhm.
gods will handle a lot of things that maybe don't feel related, but are related from the point of view of that culture or its precedence, right? Then like when you go into a fantasy world, sometimes you get these gods that are like really weird, specific, narrow
Oh yeah.
portfolio, and nobody's taking care of the normal stuff that you actually have day-to-day problems with. And then on top of it, you create this thing where it's not actually polytheism, there's henotheism, which means you have this whole thing, but you pick one god, right? So you live in this world,
Yeah.
but you are a priest of
Try telling people the Greeks had more than 12
Shantaea,
gods.
or let's say Tempest, because we're going for
Yeah.
the fighty gods. You're a priest of Tempest. Are you actually bothering Tempest about everything that's going on with you? Tempest the one that you pray to when you're like, I just need to figure out how to talk to my kid.
Well,
and
obviously send
I'm
a storm
losing
at him.
patience. Right? This is not Tempest's job. You should absolutely be taking that to the Church of Shantaea because that's her job. And it is wild to me that sometimes we get this presentation where it's like, no, you just do one. And then we at the same time are like, oh, and Shar is a greater goddess. Like, nobody worships Shar. She's really terrible. She must be giving something to people who can worship her, like, for an instant. because otherwise she shouldn't have that power based on the rules you've established.
Yeah. So real quick, I gotta read two things. One, Garwar put in the chat from One Tooth, Orcish god of dentistry, and you know what? I will use my champions of lore
Canon.
powers that be, and that is canon.
Canon!
It's canon. all hail from One Tooth. And then, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce it. It's the Obenum. I don't know how to say it, but I just like it is. They said that it is a bit weird that clerics only pray to one god when they are in a setting that is provably not monotheistic.
Right?
It's so
right?
weird.
And there's nothing about the setting that actually says the gods are like fighting for supremacy or something.
Oh yeah.
Like it does not help your god if you're only worshiping them. You are just bothering Sunni with your problem. She's not the one to go to because you have gout.
First aid kit.
This has been one of my favorite conversations that's happened.
She's not
But-
gonna do anything.
but yeah,
about
Jay,
that storm. You need to branch out. Honestly, every cleric I've
But
ever written in,
Twitch,
is
they had
definitely
just
going
fixed
down
their
those
issue,
switches
so
and things, because they're
probably after this podcast is
There you
over,
go.
I'm gonna start transitioning over.
Yeah. Don't bother Agma before a battle. That's not his job.
Yeah, I'd have been pissed. Like if I couldn't
Okay,
stream like
let's
at all.
see. Lurking right.
I mean, because it's like 1:49 p.m. I actually started about
just for time reasons.
I started about 12:30 p.m. like pretty early.
Is there a canonical choice for the non-orc/elf half? Has it always been
well,
left up to the interpretation.
A fair amount of struggle trying to get the YouTube chat on here.
Do you mean like which?
This
parent
this
was
isn't
what?
even
Yeah,
an
'cause I
app
think-
that
I
I'm
don't think
using.
it's actually mapped.
It's
So I
It's
read
the
that
YouTube
as, like,
website.
If you're half orc, what's the other half?
so
Could you be half orc, half elf?
Oh.
Could you be half orc, half tiefling? And you absolutely can.
Yeah.
The assumption, and it may have been a rule in previous editions because sometimes editions got very controlly about how you can do what you can do, is that it's usually humans because humans are the most numerous in the setting. And,
I heard the most gross explanation for that, which was it's because the human biology
that's
is
right,
more
back to
adaptable
school,
than
yeah.
the others, and I'm like, that's gross.
That's
That
very
is
gross.
extremely gross. Do not do that.
I think there are times where I'm like, you know, I stop short on like, how is this gonna function, right? A human and a halfling. I've had a baby.
Okay,
I don't
technically
think
I'm
that's fun
done,
to
but
do
I'm gonna
that.
go ahead and well, these end in
I'm
like
also
1
not
minute,
sure that
so
someone the size of
I'll
a
go
child
ahead and
seems
kill it.
like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not like that. But anyway, the other thing being like Dragonborn. Dragonborn lay eggs.
But
But
when I
fundamentally,
first
if you
started
want it to
streaming
work, okay.
around 7
You're
years
in a
ago,
world full of magic. A
I
wizard's
was
in it.
streaming on
Laura
YouTube.
literally put in the chat magic, and heck yeah, that is exactly
Exactly.
what it is.
It's like, and so there is a part where like talking to your DM because
so
there's
this
there
ain't-
are going to be
excuse me,
tables
this ain't my
where,
first rodeo.
You know, the magic is going to be like expanded or compressed. Like how
Oh,
much
that
are we
one.
going to use it for things like making half dragonborn, half elf bagels?
I don't know. Half Dragonborn, half Tiefling sounds really freaking cool now that I think about it, though. Like a Dragonborn with the full. Yeah, it'd be cool.
I'm like, you know, Aarakocra
Yep.
lay eggs too. And, you know, maybe you could have a half dragonborn, half Aarakocra, and not have to
Whoa.
answer any real questions.
That I'm gonna be honest. That sounds like a Beast Wars like fusion toy that I had when I was a kid.
And, you know, other thing is, sometimes you just don't even need to ask. You don't even answer this question, right?
it's
You're
true.
like, hey, I have a half dragonborn, half elf. How did you get born? I don't know. I was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Oh, let's
I
go be
didn't
touching
know.
that one.
Well, we're actually running low on time here, so I think that is a good place for us to stop for this week. It is. Aaron, where can people find you and what some things you're working on?
Oh, gracious. Well, you can find me on Twitter at Aaron M. Evans. You can join me with Trevor and B-Dave. It's not join me. You can listen to me with Trevor and B-Dave on our podcast, Writing About Dragons and Shit. New episode just went out today.
Yes, it did.
Where we talk about dialogue and just all kinds of other stuff. And you can join me on Mondays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific for Concentration Check, co-writing space. Come join me and we get some work done doing Pomodoro sprints. And I'm just gonna wear it out, guys. My new book, Empire of Exiles,
Not
comes
worn
out
out.
November 8th. If you have not pre-ordered yet, please do. If you have, tell
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kill that. But yeah, well, it's showing it right now. But the problem with Twitch has been fixed. So, if I was to venture a guess, probably about a half an hour. Half an hour, I should be streaming again. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna bail out of YouTube and then start switching over to Twitch. And hopefully these guys are keeping their promises and saying that, and they actually fix the problem. I don't want to go through all this trouble, go over there, nope, still don't work. So, but anyway, see you guys in a little bit.